Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I will show you how to crochet the Ingrid scarf. This is an easy and elegant scarf that you can make in very little time. And I will show you how to make your scarf any length or any width that you'd like. For this project, you'll need your yarn. This scarf was crocheted with a skein of Cascade 220 yarn, and the edging was done with Bernat Alpaca Natural Blends. However, for this tutorial, we're going to use some Red Heart Super Saver and some Knit Picks Brava Bulky for the edging. And I wanted to just mention, if you do want to substitute yarn, just look for something that uses the recommended hook sizes. The scarf body is crocheted with a 6mm J crochet hook, and the edging is crocheted with a 6.5mm K crochet hook. So if you'd like to substitute yarn and you're after a similar look, just look for yarn that recommends those sizes for both the scarf body and the edging as well. You'll also need a tapestry needle and some scissors for your finish work at the end. So let's get started. We're going to first make the scarf body, the gray section of the scarf. And we'll get our cream colored yarn out of the way. So we're going to be using, for the scarf body, again, the J hook. So we'll put the K hook aside when we're ready to do our edging. So to begin, we're going to make a chain that's the length of the scarf you would like it to be, plus 2 more chains. So we're going to make a slip knot. To make a slip knot, wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop and bring the yarn behind the loop. Reach in with your crochet hook, bring up a loop, and then go ahead and tighten it. I'm going to scoot this back. There we go, and zoom in a little. Okay, so again, we're going to make a chain as long as we would like our scarf to be, plus 2 more chains after that. So let's do 12. To make a chain, wrap yarn around hook and pull it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're just going to make a sampler here. Obviously, my starting chain for the scarf was a lot longer, but just to show you. And then we'll add 2 more to that. 1, 2. So this is our little sampler starting chain. So to do the foundation row, we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So this loop here does not count. So 1, 2. So in this chain here, insert your hook, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. Then we're going to work a single crochet in each chain all the way across till we come to the end. And this scarf is easy and fast and very customizable for any length or width that you would like to do. Okay, so we're about halfway through, just working single crochets in each chain all the way across. Okay, so our foundation row is complete. It'll look a little bit like this. And then for row 1, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and turn our work. Next, we're going to work a double crochet in each stitch across. So to work a double crochet, wrap yarn around hook, insert it into the stitch, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. So we'll work a double crochet all the way across here. And this is a great scarf as well for beginners. Okay, we're about halfway through, and I'm just going to pull out some yarn here. Okay, so we're just working double crochets in each stitch all the way across, almost to the end here. Okay, and then this is the turning chain here. We'll also work a double crochet into the turning chain as well. So this is what the end of row 1 looks like. Next we're going to move on to row 2. To work row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and then single crochet in each stitch across. So work a single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and we'll do that all the way across. So this scarf alternates rows of double crochet rows and single crochet rows. And we'll just keep doing that all the way across. Just like that. Okay, and then we're at the turning chain again, so we'll just do a single crochet into the turning chain as well. Okay, so that's what the end of row 2 looks like. To finish your Ingrid scarf, you're going to work rows 1 and 2 until the scarf is the desired width. So if we go back to our original scarf here, I just worked rows 1 and 2 until I got the scarf width that I liked. And this scarf is about 5 inches wide, just so you know, if you'd like the same width on yours. And next we're going to work the edging. So what you want to do is when you get it the width that you like, you can take your scissors and you can fasten off just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and switch hooks at this point. We're going to set our J hook down and pick up our K hook. So we can get the gray yarn out of the way. And again, this is Knit Picks Brava Bulky, and this was Bernat Alpaca Natural Blends. These both work very nicely for this pattern. So where we left off, we're going to insert our hook into this last stitch here. Then we're going to take our new yarn, and I'm just going to tie it on. Just like that. And I will show you 2 ways that you can go about doing this. You can weave it in as you go, or you can use a tapestry needle and weave it in at the end. So to do the edging, we're just going to tie on the yarn, and then what you're going to do is you're going to insert your hook into that same stitch and bring up a loop, chain 1 and turn. Okay, so in this first stitch we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet, all in the same stitch. Okay, just like that. Now let me just back up for just a minute, and if you would like to weave the ends in as you go, I'm just going to weave in one end. So I'll show you how to weave the ends in as you go along, but then I'll also leave this end sticking out so that I can show you how to weave the ends in with a tapestry needle at the end. So I'm going to leave one end out to do later and one end to do now, just to show you both. But when you do this, you do both ends. Okay, so I'm going to lay the end right along the top here and just kind of keep it there. We're going to just do the same thing we did before. Chain one, turn it. Okay, so our end is still kind of laying across the top here. So let's go ahead and do the edging. So we'll do a single crochet, chain two, 1, 2. See, I'm giving it a little tug, and a single crochet. Okay, that's our first little point here. Next, we're going to skip the next stitch here, and in the stitch after that, we're going to do the same thing. Single crochet, chain two, and a single crochet. And as I work these stitches, I'm also working them over this tail. So as you go along, you can give it a tug just to keep everything nice and neat. Next, you're going to skip the next stitch, and in the stitch after that, work a single crochet, chain two, and a single crochet. And we'll just keep repeating this sequence all the way across. Skip the next stitch, in the stitch after that, work a single crochet, chain two, and a single crochet. So let's look at what we've done so far. We're getting a nice, you can kind of straighten these out a little bit, but you're getting a nice little edging, very similarly to this one. Skip the next stitch, in the stitch after that, work a single crochet, chain two, and a single crochet. And I've seen on Ravelry and Facebook, a lot of you have made this scarf and you've done it in a lot of different colors, and it's really fun to see all the colors that everybody picks for this. So skip the next stitch, and in the stitch after that, work a single crochet, chain two, and a single crochet. Okay, skip the next stitch, and in the last stitch, do the same thing. Single crochet, chain two, single crochet. Okay, and like I said before, I'm going to show you how to do both tails, the weaving in process. So now what you can do is trim, fasten off when you come to the end, and it'll look like that, our little Ingrid scarf sampler. So this tail here, we wove it in as we went along. So what you can do is just give it a little tug. See how it kind of draws it up a tiny bit? Trim, and then pull it a little bit, and that'll disappear. Now you'll want to weave in all your ends, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So when we tied this on, we had this end. So I just wanted to show you how to do it a different way. A lot of times it's easier to weave it in as you go along, but you can do it this way too. So I threaded my tapestry needle. I'm just going to run it in along the bottom of this edging here. When you weave in ends of multicolors, you want to go along and weave it into the section of color of this tail. For example, if I'm weaving in this end, I want to do it into the gray section. If I'm weaving in this end, I want to do it into the cream colored section, not through the gray section, because you would see it through the piece. So we've put our needle through here. We're going to just run it in this direction, come back in, run it through this direction. Okay, then we can take our scissors, give it a little tug. That little tug will help you not see that end, because then when you pull it back, it'll kind of disappear. So here's our little Ingrid scarf sampler, and you can weave all these other ends in too when you're finished. Here's our little Ingrid scarf sampler. And again, you can make this any length you want. You can make it any width you want. We work just a few rows. This is more rows worked. You can see the width has grown. So that is how you crochet the Ingrid scarf. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure and click the red subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again.